coming on.
That worked. Hi guys, welcome. All these lovely, lovely ladies that are on here. I love it. I'm just checking there wasn't a sneaky man somewhere, so I didn't want to insult anyone. Hi, right. So the questions that have come through this week all seem to be around.
Holly,
Yes.
can I just say, if you lose me, our internet's very intermittent tonight.
Oh, is
It's
it?
very windy on the boat, so if we lose, I will come back, but so I apologise.
That's all right. Have you had your hair cut? Your hair looks different.
I have it all cut off, yes.
I noticed.
Couldn't bear it anymore.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Yeah, so it's around how I started the social media business that I'm running. So unless anybody has got any other questions that they want to throw into the mix, then I will start off on that. Has anyone got any other questions first of all, before I kick off on all of that?
Maybe. Can you hear me?
Who's that?
It's Camelia.
Camelia, there you are, yes. Hi.
Hi. It is my understanding that on social media you should post many times a day. Several times a day, minimum 4, if not 12 even.
That all depends on which platform you're speaking about.
I'm speaking about most of them. Facebook, Twitter.
Okay.
I don't know much about Instagram. I don't know much about yet.
Right. So Facebook now, maximum once a day. Be consistent with to make sure that it is every day. So I'm just going to mute people just because I'm getting some. Oh, hi, Gav. Speaking of troublesome men, there he is. Right, we're all muted. Yeah, so Facebook, maximum of once a day now, but just make sure that that's consistent. So you are doing it every single day and at a similar kind of time. But don't post any more than that on Facebook anymore because it's not about number of times that you post, it's about the engagement that you receive off the back of that.
Okay.
And any more than that is just going to slowly rank you further and further down the algorithm, and you won't get seen at all. So with Facebook, it's less is more, but make sure the content you are sharing is really valuable and engaging to the consumer, to the whoever it is that's reading it.
Okay, thank you so much.
On Twitter, yeah, I stay away from Twitter because it is so labour intensive. I've got you, Penny, just a sec. So that's the one that you would post the most on. So that could be like 8, 9, 10 times a day, because once you've posted it, it's gone. It's just a constant.
I know, yeah, exactly.
Instagram, you can do, as long as you're consistent with Instagram, you could do between 1 to 3 a day. But if you are doing it once a day, that's perfectly fine.
Okay.
But you're consistent with that. And Instagram's a lot to do with, I'm saying a lot, it's mainly everything to do with hashtags, which I'm going to do a training on that.
Okay.
Because I've been promising Cordelia this for ages now and I've not done it yet. I gave her a very brief version of it this morning, but Instagram's so powerful when you use it right.
Okay.
If first of all your audience are on there, and also when you use the hashtags right, it's really powerful. Okay. So, but that's a whole conversation in itself. So yeah, it depends which platform you're on as to how often you would post.
Okay, on Twitter too, the hashtags are quite important.
Yeah,
because it is a search engine.
Yeah, I don't know much about Twitter because I've
Okay.
never used it because I don't like it. So I'm not the best person to ask about that, but there will be a plethora of information out there about it.
Okay.
Yeah, hashtags. Twitter is a hashtag place as well, but
Yes.
it's very different to Instagram and Instagram's hashtags.
Okay.
I've got
Thank
a secret
you.
passion for Instagram, obsession.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Penny, what were you going to say? Let me unmute you.
Um,
Go.
Thank you. I was going to say, is it beneficial that when you see a friend's post to like and to share it and to comment on it? Is that will that help it?
On Facebook?
If you yes, on Facebook. If you see a post,
yeah.
Am I right in thinking that if you like it, you should share it and you should comment on it, which then also helps everybody.
Would help them. There's two sides to this that I kind of touched on a few weeks ago. Is that when the Facebook recognises who is interacting with the posts and with the with the posts, and it will base who's interacting with it as a basis to show to more people like that person, which is why I always go on about that. When you start a Facebook page up, you should never ask all your friends and family to like your page, because most of your friends and family are not going to be your avatar of ideal person that you want looking at your page. And Facebook will look at who does like your page, who's interacting with it, and base who they show that to more of on who's currently interacting with it. Now, if I'm reading your posts and liking and sharing, on one hand, that's boosting your engagement. So that's ticking some of Facebook's boxes to think, yep, this is valuable content. Let's shove this up the rankings a little bit. But then just bear in mind that Facebook's also looking at, okay, so this is the kind of people that we need to be showing this content to, where I might not be the kind of person that you want your content to go to. And
don't say that, Holly.
Pardon?
I said, don't say that.
We're not, are we? So, and the other thing, go on. Yeah.
That's it. I'm very happy for you to have my content.
Yeah, if I'm your ideal customer, then that's brilliant. Yeah. The other thing with getting your friends and family to like your page, though, is that it's often they'll like the page and then that's it, game over for them. If you do happen to show up in their feed, they're probably just going to carry on scrolling up thinking, oh yeah, there's Penny. Oh yeah, that's nice. Carry on scrolling and not actually engage with that post. Yeah. So it's really good if you are the friend and you are the ideal customer of the page owner, then just bang that stuff everywhere. Just like, comment, share, whatever you can do with it. But to be fair, just do it. Yeah, if it would help people because of the organic side of stuff. So just do that. Like, comment and share on people's posts, because for the numbers that we're talking about, it won't really have that much detrimental effect on them. But it's just something to be aware of. If you're playing a bigger game with it, that just be aware that this is how Facebook's reading stuff at the minute.
Okay, thank you.
Right. Sorry, I just had a really weird message from my brother. Joshua, just read that, please. I think Joshua just texted my brother asking him for anti-Netflix passwords, and he's not quite sure it's legit. Yeah, that's fine. Just say it's okay. Right, cool. Yeah, so that's good. That answers that. Tracy, hi. Let me unmute you.
Hello. On the whole Facebook thing, is that as much for the business page as for your personal page? Is there a discrepancy between the two? And then I was going to ask, like, how much content and video and stuff do you actually put on your business page?
Yeah, so everything I'm talking about now is business page, because I would always say set the business page up, because on your personal page, the people who are on there are going to be your friends and family, who are probably less likely to be the people that you really want to be seeing the stuff that you're putting out there. Not because you don't want them to know what you're doing, but are they going to be a consumer? Are they going to buy what you're talking about? And also, you don't get access to any of the insights and all the other side of things that you do when you've got a page, which that's crucial. You need access to all of that, because it tells you what kind of which posts people are engaging with, the times of the day that people are on your page are online for the people who like your page. So, but I would always say go with that. Plus, you can't do any paid ads on your personal page. So it's just if you want to boost a post or anything like that, you can't do that on your personal page. Keep personal stuff, personal profile for personal stuff. That doesn't mean to say that you can't share your message, because once you build this voice up about what it is that your message is, then, and you're really clear on that, that will be consistent with whatever you do, because it'll come, that's the kind of stuff you're naturally going to be sharing anyway, whatever form that takes. But if they put it where you can on the business page, and also use your personal page if you want to, because if you're thinking about having some of your contacts on your personal page who might be something to do with your business, like a contact or an acquaintance within your business, just so that they're hearing the same message from you. But once you really dig deep as to what your message really is, then that's the kind of stuff that you're going to be talking about anyway.
So on that note, I like find that, you know, and I don't know if there's anything with this, you know, maybe you're on something, you want to share it to your business page. Like there's all these weird parameters and things that it lets you do and doesn't let you do from one page to the other with the business page. And a big thing too is, you know, I'm just starting to learn about Instagram and whatnot and see the value there, but still haven't wrapped my mind around everything. But there's supposed to be a way you can link them together, and it seems like every time I'm on Instagram and it gives me that option to turn it into a business one, and I fill out the whole form and everything to try to link them, then it tells me that that page is owned by somebody else who is me, you know, and then I don't know who I'm supposed to go to try to rectify that. Would I go to Instagram or go to Facebook?
It sounds, I'd be happy to have a look at that for you, because it sounds there's some disconnect somewhere in your settings. Do you have two Facebook profiles or?
No, I just have my one personal, and under my personal I have my business page, and then I went ahead and did the Instagram, and I have 3 accounts. I have a personal one and then 2 different business ones.
Right, and the 2 business Instagram accounts, is one of them already linked to your Facebook business account?
Both of them are to the business pages. So, I mean, I've gone in
pages and to Instagram, and that shouldn't be a problem. If you send me the links to both of them, I'll have a look, because I've tried to, you can't do it. You can have one business Instagram account linked to one business Facebook page, and then you can just fling it. There's like a little toggle thing where when you post on Instagram, you just click that and it'll fire it over to Facebook as well.
Have you done any of this stuff in Lynda to learn about Instagram? Like, where would you suggest people kind of get acquainted?
It's difficult. It's basic stuff. I mean, it's stuff that I could bang out in a 10-minute call, actually. In fact, maybe we should do it together and I'll record the call for other people.
Okay. You could do that. And that would be, we can figure out a time and stuff. And excuse me if I pop off. I've got a women's circle group thing that I have later, but I wanted to jump on. Thank you so much.
Right. Yeah, well, we can do that. That's fine. And I've not looked at any of the Lynda trainings, because, to be honest, I've not, where I get my stuff from, where I keep up to date with it, it's on a daily basis. So I know that it's fresh every day. Because social media stuff changes so quickly. You can go to sleep one night, wake up, and it's like, all different. So where I keep plugged in and make sure that I know on what's fresh, it's literally, well, not even daily, it can be like 3 or 4 times a day that stuff's coming out. So it's, if there's any big things, I always tend to post them in the group so people are aware of them. But I've not looked at any of the Lynda stuff. Maybe I should do, just so that I can compare that to recommend to other people. But I'm sure Lynda's brilliant, the training stuff on there, because from where it's come from, it's not going to be shit training, but yeah, I like where I get my stuff from.
Yeah, no problem. And yeah, jumping on Cordelia's stuff, maybe that's a topic of, for
yeah, the hashtag stuff's a biggie. The method I use with hashtags has been really successful for the clients that I've worked with. So the method I use definitely works from that sense. There will be a million other different methods though. This isn't the social media. Everyone's got a different way of doing it. And it's just finding one that works for you and your clients, if you're getting clients, but if you're applying it to your SFM stuff, get it to work for you. But it's all doable. This is what I do. It's all doable. But if you're applying it, this is the one thing I will say, is if you're applying it to SFM, which Jenny, I know, there, yeah. Hi, let's just welcome Jenny first of all, because she is an honouring member, because she's Caroline's mum. So, hi, Jenny. And we love Caroline. Yes, if you're thinking about social media in regards to how that's going to back up your affiliate stuff, be very clear on you. I'll go into this a little bit further on because I know it's important for what Caroline wants to know for Jenny, but make sure it's not that social media doesn't interfere with your overall strategy for SFM. If you're going to do paid ads, like jump onto YouTube or Facebook ads, then do what you need to do to make that successful. Oh, speak of the devil, she's here, Cordelia. And do what, this is what Cordelia, I'm just about to talk to you, so your ears must talk about you even. So when Cordelia started, she knew what she needed to do to get the end result. And all this, I call it bum fluff, that surrounds everything else isn't necessary until you're at a point where this other bum fluff is going to enhance everything else. So don't let social media jeopardize anything you're doing with paid ads. If that's the strategy that you're going down, it should enhance it, not be your only method if you're doing paid. However, if you're doing organic, then yeah, get your face into this, and it can be very useful for you with SFM stuff. So it depends which angle you're coming from. It can either be a total distraction and not money producing activities and hinder what the strategy is overall that you're wanting to achieve, or on the other hand, it can be Jesus, Mary, Joseph, the sweet baby orphans, and can just save everything for you if you're going down the organic route or low cost route. So just be clear on that. Cool, excellent. Right, so let me write that down actually, because my memory is a sieve and I will forget about this as soon as the call turns off. So, Instagram, right, cool. Does that help, Tracy, for now? Until we sort that out. Excellent. Right, any other questions before I jump in to what I did and where I messed up and what I would do differently? Let's go. Let's have a sip of tea. Right, so yeah, all the questions that have come through have come through this week, which is interesting because this is what I just love doing. First of all, start from the beginning. So let me just check I'm not skipping ahead. Right, so how did I start this? It wasn't an intentional decision when I started doing the social media stuff. Just looking at this call, I think most people now know my story as to why I came into this in the beginning, but my back was against the wall and I had a very decent income coming in that was literally overnight cut, along with a whole other collection of things that was making my life challenging at the time. And I needed to create an income PFQ. And pretty fucking quick, that means, for anyone who doesn't know what that is. Yeah, and I
was just about to ask.
Well, yeah, I've not used that thing, what's it called when it's letters? Not analogy. What's the word? Not abbreviation. Acronym. I could see her talking, I'm like reading her lips. Yeah, I've not used that phrase, it's one of my favourites. So yeah, I had to create something out of nothing very quickly. And this was one thing, so I was going through all the modules, I got really curious to follow a path back to social media. I'd done a very short course the year before. I joined in social media but done nothing with it, and because it changes so quickly, that was totally out of date. But I'd got this at the back of my head, this interest in social media. And the more I went through the modules with SFM, the more that was really interesting to me. So I kind of followed that path a little bit to find out more about that. And but again, didn't do much with it to start with. And then I was asked by another SFM member if I would help them with their business. It's no secret, I help Amy Taylor do quite a lot, well, when she's actually doing things, I helped her with a lot of stuff in the background for her business with Your Wi-Fi Life. And some of that was social media. So that really started the spark off again, that I really enjoyed social media. So I started retraining on social media in the current day, because I'd done that training that was over 12 months old at that point. So I needed to start again and just get caught up on everything with how it was working at that time. So I really enjoyed it. So once I'd got back up to scratch, somebody else asked me at that point if I would help them with their social media business. So I was doing some stuff for their clients. They weren't my own clients, but I was, it came through this other, like a third party to their clients, somebody who I knew. And that again just threw more fuel on the fire into, I really enjoy social media. And then it also started me realizing, actually, this is a really good income producing activity where I can sell what I know. And that was the first stage of it. So then over the next few months, I was getting more. These are all people that I knew to begin with, or very close to people who I knew. And they asked me to help them with their stuff. So that's how it started initially. It was people either who I knew directly or who were very close to people who I knew directly. And then, yeah, once because I kind of felt like a bit of a fraud, thinking, oh, what do I know about this? So yeah, I'm selling it to people. So I thought, right, just get comfortable in what you're doing. Let's prove to myself that I knew that what I was doing was effective and I was getting results from it for these other clients. And then I built up a little bit of confidence to talk about it a little bit more openly with other people that I knew in the world here, and picked up a few small business clients that, again, they were either people who I knew or people who were a friend of a friend with their businesses, and started doing work, social media work for them as well. So that's how it started initially. It was all very low key, all very small folk. It was working with a lot of different people, but on a small scale, rather than having a big client that paid a lot of money. It was working with a lot of different people who were on a much smaller scale. So that's how I got into it to start with. So I'm just trying to make sure that I'm answering the questions that people have asked. What steps did I take to make it work? To start with, I was finding my feet the whole way through. I was just not making it up as I went along, but I was figuring shit out as I went along the whole time. I was just saying, if somebody asked me to do something, it was yeah, the answer was yes, and I would go and figure it out, because all the information's out there somewhere. Somebody has got the answer to what you need to do. And that's how I did it, is to find the answer from somewhere. And whether it was a quick Google or whether it was joining up to this membership that I've got, which has proved invaluable now because, I'm investing in myself to that. to make sure that that's what I'm selling. So I need to make sure I know what I'm talking about in that sense. So yeah, so the steps were initially, if I was to do it again, see the way I did it, I just fumbled my way through all of it. I'm not ashamed to say that. It was just like, let's just see what happens with it. And it was interesting that only a few months back, at the back end of last year, I realised that once I'd hit, earlier last year, once I'd hit what I was earning in my job, my income had hit that point, I'd never gone above that. Whether that was some subconscious belief or subconscious whatever, is that as soon as I'd replaced my income, I didn't make any effort to increase my income for whatever reason that was, which has changed now. So if I was going to do it again, I would do things very differently. I would just make sure I was very strategic at the beginning as to what my message was, because I've got a very different message now when I'm talking to new clients as to what I did even a year ago. I didn't have a message. I was selling social media. Essentially, that's what I was doing. Whereas now it's not. I'm not selling social media at all. I'm selling my why. So why somebody would want that. And social media just happens to be the end result of what it is that I'm talking about. So my message now is it's about freedom. I've spoken about this bench moment quite a few times now. And that's I'm not going to go into it because I always start crying when I talk about it. But that is the reason I do everything that I do, whether that's social media, whether that's SFM affiliate stuff when I'm positioned higher to do that, or whether I'm building websites, whether I'm designing funnels. It's all with the why at the heart of creating freedom for somebody, so that they'd never sat on a bench feeling the way that I felt in 2016. So that's it. I would say get clear on why you're doing it, first of all, and everything feeds off the back of that. So get clear on your message. The steps are really simple. There's nothing rocket science about this at all. If it's something that you're wanting to do, what's your message? Get skilled up. And you don't have to be like some genius at social media, because I'm certainly not. I just know where to go and find the answer to the stuff that I don't already know. So get skilled up enough so that you're just that 1 or 2 steps ahead of the people that you're going to be talking to, because that means so much to them. And talk to people about it. There's like 3 things to do. That's all you need to do to be doing what I'm doing. I just made it so difficult for myself and could have done it so much quicker than I did, but I didn't. But that's see, this is the thing. I'm so glad that my journey was my journey, because it's got me to today where I'm sitting having this conversation with people. If I was having this conversation a year ago, it would be, well, I wouldn't even be having this conversation to start with, but it would be very different. Is that just let things go how they're supposed to go, and eventually you'll get to where you're supposed to be, because 10 balls a string and all that malarkey. So yeah, what the steps that I took lots of different steps, but if I was to do it again, or to advise anybody else that's doing it to shorten the length of time to achieve the results that I'm now achieving, it would be get super clear on your why and your messaging. Find a source of information so that you can get skilled up on this. And the third one is talk to people about it, which is very easy to say that. Even I still struggle with doing that, with getting new clients, because I've just got this blocker in my head that I've had for ages. But now I've nearly got my website sorted. I'm going to start running paid ads to my website as well. But I'm very realistic that I actually need to be stood in front of people talking about it right now to do it. So Anna, you asked that question. Did that answer? Cool. Thumbs up. Good. Do I outsource anything you asked? As a general rule right now, no. But I've mentioned this before as well. If I don't like writing, I have no interest in long copywriting or blog writing at all. I would rather stick pins in my eyeballs than do that. So I do have, well, actually, I know Caroline now as well. So Caroline could help me with copywriting, but I also know somebody else who has done some stuff for me before before I knew Caroline, in copywriting, so I would outsource that. So if anybody ever asked me to do that, I wouldn't say no, because I know that I can go to people that will do that, and I would just cost that into whatever I'm billing them, include that into the client's costing. And what was your other question, Anna? I've got 4 questions. How long did it take me to replace my income? It was from when my income went, which was June 2016. I'd replaced it within the year, but just bear in mind, I was also dealing with a son with cancer at that point. So creating money was not a priority, as in I just needed to cover my expenses rather than replace my whole income. But within a year, I'd replaced my whole income. So, and everyone's got shit in their life. So I would never say that I've got more issues than anybody else, but that my focus was entirely on that rather than trying to balance, like replace my whole income. So it's so much doable. And since in the last few months, since I've got really clear on things, I've almost doubled that again. So the magic pill, the silver bullet, is getting clear on your vision, getting clear on your why, and then starting to put the right things in action rather than doing what I did to start with and just throw shit at the wall and see what stuck. So yeah, so you can do very quickly if you focused on it and you knew the steps, which I'm very happy to like literally go step by step with people who want to know that, and shortcut all the craziness that I went through. That I thought, no wonder I drank so much gin last year, just trying to figure out all this stuff that I could have done so much easier. Yeah, we can do that as well. That's fine. Bridget asked how I first got clients. So yeah, I've covered that. I was talking to people that I knew, which if I was to do it again, I would probably do that again, just so I felt comfortable in talking about things, because you kind of get this imposter syndrome that suddenly you're talking about stuff you've never talked about before, but you actually do know quite a lot of stuff compared to average Joe on the street. So yeah, I would definitely start with people who I knew initially, but I would get a lot clearer, a lot faster if I was to do it again. And Bridget asked again, how I managed to replace my income, which I think I've covered that. It's just that my strategy now isn't a lot of little clients, which he has been, and some of them still are. Now I'm being a lot more strategic in hitting clients or targeting clients who have got the budget to spend and don't have the time, whereas the people that I've worked with in the past have been they don't have a lot of money to spend, and that can be really draining at times, because they don't understand the value of what you do and therefore expect everything for nothing. So yeah, my tack has changed now, that it's people who totally understand the value of what we're doing, understand the why of why I'm doing that, and it's the why that I'm selling, not the social media, and yeah, have a nice pot of money that are willing to pay me to do that. So yeah, that's what I would do if I was doing it again. But start off where you feel comfortable. This is all, there's no right or wrong answer with this. It's like the question about, well, how much do I charge? How much should I be charging people for this? Charge what you feel comfortable in charging. And you get that it sounds hooey-wooey, airy, fairy, Mary stuff, but when you say a value out loud, if you want to charge it hourly, if you want to charge it by project, depending on what it is that you're doing, it needs to sit right with you, because if you're asking for £1,000 for whatever it is that you're saying, but you just get that feeling in your core that it's just not sitting right, well then don't ask for £1,000. Pick a number that you choose comfortable with, and over time that will build up to what it is that you're really wanting to charge for things. And never undervalue yourself either. I do this all the time, and you're just thinking, God, if you Google how much people charge for the stuff that I'm actually doing, it's way more than I'm charging. And it's, yeah, even now I struggle with that sometimes. But even though in here, I know what I'm charging is nothing compared to what if they went to the Leeds city centre and walked up the street there and found a marketing agency or a digital agency there, they would be charging a fortune. And we actually know more than these people that are in the big flash offices, because they're charging all this money, not for the knowledge they've got, but for the big fancy buildings that they're sat in while they're doing it. So it's that you've got to find a number that feels comfortable for you, but also don't undervalue yourself, because you are worth a lot and the knowledge that you have got is worth a fortune. Right, let's get to Jenny. Caroline has asked on your behalf. Where is she? Oh, there she
Hi.
is. Oh, Pauline, hi. I think
Pauline,
Jenny,
hi.
I can't see. Oh, I can see Jenny's square, but I can't actually see her. Anyway, so Caroline asked Jenny on your behalf, how would I apply social media skills to being an affiliate for SFM? So I kind of touched on this earlier. If it all depends on your strategy, you've got to be laser focused on the end result of what you want to achieve. If it's like Cordelia did, and she knew that, right, I'm advertising on YouTube, so she followed the steps on YouTube to get from beginner to advertise on YouTube. Oh, you're welcome, Tracy. Nice to see you. Then that's what she'd focused on. And I think, did you start with at the beginning, Cordelia, doing stuff that you didn't really need to be doing and then quickly stopped?
I just felt overwhelmed, really. I think you get to module 5 and there's like so many different routes, and you feel like at that point that you need to be doing everything. Blogging, putting posts on Instagram, putting things on Facebook, doing all this stuff that you haven't even got an audience for at that moment in time. So that was what I struggled with at the beginning, was just knowing that direction to go in. But then I sat down and was like, you know, this is my strategy. I want to advertise on YouTube, and just like you said, laser focus just to get to that point and just ignored everything else.
And now you've started to create the audience. Now's a good time for you to start exploring the other things. Yeah, so again, it depends on what your strategy is as to when you start using social media and in what capacity you use it in. So I'm going to answer this on the assumption that it is the right time to start doing social media, because you've got everything in place for your paid stuff and you're starting to build an audience that you can use it for. I would say use it for brand awareness rather than because there's 4 parts to social media. Let me see if I can remember them. Pressure. The social listening, so you should always do that. So social listening is listening out there for what people are saying about you and your business and the industry. That's a big one that you need to be aware of when you are playing with social media. What your business is will depend on how much of your time, what percentage of time you will allocate to that. And there's various different tools that you can use to make that easier for you. So the social listening, there is social influencing, which is the biggest part for the SFM. Once you've got an audience, you need to position yourself as an influencer. So that would be the biggest majority of your whole social media strategy. And that is sharing valuable content. So that's your education, inspiration, and entertainment. And that would be most of your content that goes out there, as in jab, 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 right hook. And the next one is social networking. Again, this is where we start leveraging even further the people that we've got around us. So the social networking is identifying the key players and getting them involved somehow. So you're earning social media mentions, you're getting your name out to somebody else's audience as well. So that's the social networking. We can do that within us as well, within our networks within the SFM. As long as you're not a direct competition, you can start to use that. If you've got your own product, then using somebody else who's got their own product in the SFM, because we've already got a relationship with each other, can be mutually beneficial. But obviously you don't want to be both selling SFM. It needs to be a different product. Otherwise that is direct competition. And the final one is social selling. And this needs to be the smallest part of your social media activity. Again, jab, 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 right hook. So you've got the 4 different parts, and depending on what you're trying to achieve, I would take make a sweeping statement that it's social influencing. That would work really, really well alongside the SFM affiliate stuff, because you're trying to influence people who, your audience, who may or may not be consumers yet of your product, as in they're an app or a member or a lead or anything further. You're still influencing them. Even if they're a member, you're still influencing them, because there's more potential out of that customer. They can still go higher in the DEA. So you're still influencing these types of people. And it's influencing, not manipulating, because you are just being the voice of your message. That's what it is. You're not trying to manipulate anything to do with anything, which we would never do anyway within what we do in the SFM. But yeah, social influencing, that's what you'd be doing the most of, and using it as brand awareness. So you'd be sharing the content under the 3: educational, inspirational, and entertaining. Play around with how those look, because you've got all the different types of media within that as well. So you've got videos, lives, images, quotes, mine's gone blank, sharing articles, creating your own content, curating other content, and repurposing your own content. So there's so much stuff you can bang into social media stuff. Your social media strategy, you can get something like, out of one piece of content, you can rip it into 24 other pieces of content. So you might have one video that you've created, and you can just rip it and repurpose that in so many different ways. So it doesn't have to be a never-ending production of content. You can just use other people's content. As long as it backs up your message and it's in line with your message, you can just curate that into your own. Share an article, or share a video, or share a quote, or whatever it is of somebody else's. But just bear in mind, if you're trying to influence, just make sure this is really clear, on-point message to what your voice is and your message is. It's very fun. This is really fun. Once you get your head around it, it's really, I love doing social media stuff, because I just get to piss about all day doing really exciting stuff. That's good. That's more than that. But yeah, it's really, and it's so effective. When you do it, it's really effective. What gets addictive for me anyway is the results that I see coming through from the clients' stuff, whether it's the engagement increases, whether they get to help somebody, whether they get to do more of stuff that they want to do in their lives. Just the results that I see out of it is the best thing for me. It's not the actual social media stuff. It just happens to be something that I enjoy doing. It's the why I'm doing it that nobody sees behind that's actually the real driver for it. Jenny, have you got any other questions about that? Because I know I've been quite general in that, but is there... Are you sure? Hang on, can't hear you.
Yeah, right, crap phone. Yeah, everything's cool.
Right, if you want, I can talk more in detail about certain things if you like separately, depending on what Caroline's given you to do.
She got the baby and said, yeah, you go with it. She just dropped it in my lap.
Mum's coming on tomorrow, and this is what she wants to know, or this is what I want her to know. Like, oh, all right. But yeah, if you've got any questions, then either send them to me directly or do it through Caroline. She's not going to be shy and coming forward to ask me these questions. And I'm quite happy to walk you through things, because it can be a bit, if you've never done anything like this before, it can be a bit, even like how to create images, or how to edit videos, or how to read Facebook Insights. Yeah, there's just a lot to look at when you've never done it before. So we can go through that. That's no problem.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Right, Hilary.
When you started doing your business with social media, I mean, to me, there isn't enough training within the SFM for you to have perhaps gone out and done a business. Did you take it upon yourself to just do some external training on it? Because certainly from what I've seen so far, and I'm still relatively new, I wouldn't have the confidence to go out and do what you're doing with the knowledge that, I mean, the training's obviously amazing within SFM, but just, you know, it's kind of limited, I would say, in that respect.
Yeah, so the training that we've got access to, well, I was only, I've never been in the positioned at the DEA at all, so all my knowledge has come from not the DEA, so just what's been available in the SFM. But that's what I've learned in there was enough to give me a big picture of what's available out there and give me enough tasters of well, do I like doing this, or would I enjoy doing that? So it gave me a buffet of things to choose from, if you like, as well as a really solid foundation of understanding how this digital economy works. But how I then branched off to social media was, because I kind of got an interest in it from the year before, and then once I started doing a little bits again, playing around with it, that sparks that, I really enjoyed doing this. So I got training from Digital Marketer.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw the video I did about that before, about how to get it for free. If you're positioned at gold or above, then you get that anyway within your DEA membership. And if you're not positioned at gold or above and you would like that, Digital Marketer have a 2-week free trial, a 14-day free trial. And I did quite a few modules of that in the back end of autumn last year within this free trial period. So I got quite a few of them through that, which gave me the bigger picture of social media, the how-tos on the day-to-day, how to do certain things. I just, I'm trying to think now, where did I get those from? So Social Media Examiner was a big one, which I'm a part of. Trying to think. I followed people who were, because everyone's an expert in a different field. So the Instagram expert won't be the expert in Facebook, or the LinkedIn won't be an expert in Pinterest, for example. So I was following the people who were experts in that, whichever platform I was looking at, and just followed what was happening on their Facebook, do a free training, which I still need to do, actually. I've never done their own training, which I should do. But a lot of what I did was I was playing around with myself. So with these low-paying clients that I had, there was no pressure for me to be this big fat expert that could pull results like that, which unless you're throwing budget behind it, you won't anyway. But I was playing around with things, so I learned through trial and error a lot of the time at the beginning, which was really useful for me, because there was no pressure then to do things, and I got to learn what worked and what didn't work, and why it didn't work and why it did work. But the basic stuff, I'm trying to think what other courses I did. I just stayed curious and followed trainings as to find little things, or even if there was a certain thing I wanted to do, I would just Google it. There would be an answer on Google to find out how to do it. And
out of interest, I mean, the social media thing's probably not a big thing for me at the moment, but what you say you're part of something that updates you about 3 times a day on stuff.
Yeah.
What is that?
It's Social Media Examiner. You can be part of, I can't think what it's called now, but they have a membership that you pay for every month. So I get stuff from that. But even if you sign up to their mailing list, they do, because I've signed up, I've got my email for the membership, but because I've got a few different email addresses, I've got another email address that's just on their free stuff. And the free stuff that comes out is really good. You will be kept up to date by just signing up to that email list for free. It depends how deep you want to go. If you want to the reason I'm a member of it is because there's forums there. So I know that if I've got a question of something that I don't know how to do, then it's literally a quick question into this forum, and within seconds I've got an answer from this industry expert, which is really good. But you don't need to do that. It's by I only do that now because for me personally, I want to be stepping up a big gear. So I want to make sure that I've got access to the information that I need access to. To get. You don't need to. Went a long time without being in that, and just off the free stuff that I used to get from them as well. So yeah, sign up for that.
Thank you.
That's all right. I'm just reading Erica's message. When you learn and understand how it becomes really exciting. Yeah, it is. I find
it. Just answering.
Oh, you're answering someone else? All right.
Yeah, but.
Oh, sorry. Yes. Oh, everything you put social media on there.
Right, because it's for everyone. But I was having a question: is everything fell into place? And actually, I'm not there yet, but it feels like I'm getting closer and closer. And in the beginning, I was very sure that I didn't like social media.
Yeah.
But in the end of the day, I ends up spent most of the time on social media anyway. And the more I learn and understand about it, it's getting more excitement every day. So
yeah,
maybe I'm stuck now because of you.
It can suck you into it. I can set my laptop up on a morning. It's half term here now, so both kids are off. Even though I've lost the daughter because she's just all grown up now and can't be at home. She's like sofa hopping around all her friends' houses at the minute this week. So I've got Joshua here. So, but I can set the laptop up this morning, for example. I'm like, right, I'm just going to sit and spend 2 hours doing what I need to do on this. But then it's like, oh, I'll just do this. I'll just do this, because you're in it and you enjoy doing it. It's like, oh, I'll just do this. So, which is really good because it's, I never did that with my job before. And it's like, oh, I just love what I'm doing. Not just, it's what I'm doing as in what I'm physically doing, but also the why that's around it as well. So it's a really double whammy, which is why I'm just like glued to my laptop sometimes. And it's really difficult. No, it's not really difficult. That sounds really horrible that I don't want to spend time with the kids. Obviously, I love them dearly and want to spend time with them. But it's when you're really enjoying what you do. They're
listening, aren't they? They're listening. Well, they can hear you.
Yeah.
He's got his headphones on listening to YouTube.
Maybe it's because you have a purpose.
Yeah, I think it is. As soon as I got really clear on my why, then nothing was an effort anymore. It was all just, I want to get onto the laptop because I separate time for work and if you can call it work, and time with the kids, because that's the whole point of me doing this, is that I don't have this guilt trip that I now don't see my kids, that I didn't see my kids. So it's very important to me that I can shut the laptop when I choose to shut the laptop, not when someone else dictates that. But it's also really exciting when I get to open it and do what I love to do. So yeah, it is. It's really addictive. That's funny that you said about social media, that you're enjoying that, because I remember distinctly a conversation a few weeks ago. You're like, don't like that, don't like that.
Yeah, that's why I was asking how is she doing, because last time I was seeing Erica was that call that she was like, oh, I'm not sure what I'm going to do and stuff like that, and today she's got a big smile on her face. That's why I'm asking how you're doing.
Yes, I'm doing really fine, and I'm not sure that I have my exact plan yet, but it doesn't matter because things fall into place more and more for every day, and that's enough for me.
Yeah, there's been a massive from somebody looking at you from an outside and hearing things that have been going on recently for you. You're just like a totally different. You're in a totally different space than how you were 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Yeah. That's amazing that we sit in different countries and still we can have this interaction.
Yeah,
That's really cool. Yeah.
So I'm excited to see where you go to. I really am keeping a little secret stock eye on what's happening with you.
Okay. Okay. Did I understand right that you had digitalmarketers.com and socialmediaexaminer.com as good places to learn more about these 4 steps and so on, the strategies?
The 4 parts of social media, that's Digital Marketer do cover that in their social. I can't think of what it's actually called, their thing, but their social media certification, they cover the 4 steps in quite a lot of detail. But I can go over them again. But if you want to do that certification, then I would highly recommend doing it if social media is something that you're interested in doing, because it gives a really good overview. It doesn't go into the how-tos or how to do certain things, because in fact, it was actually their certification for social media was created in 2015, which is very old for social media. But the principles are still the same, because it's all about strategy that they're teaching, not how
Holly, what is it on specifically? Is it Facebook and most of them, or?
It talks about, so do you mean the digital marketer module?
No, that certification that you just said. So is it on a little bit of Facebook, a little bit of Instagram, or?
No, it's all about strategy. So it talks about so it talks about the 2 types of different social media channels are either seeker channels or engagement channels. So your seeker channels are where people are actively seeking information, such as YouTube or Pinterest, or people where we go to search things. Whereas engagement channels such as Facebook, we're there to be engaged. We don't go on Facebook to buy something, to be sold to, or to find out how something, although that's slightly changing at the minute. But it's very different.
That's interesting. I never heard about it. I'm going to do a little bit of research.
It's really, and it makes you look at things a lot different when you're choosing the channels or the platforms to be on. It just opens your eyes a little bit as to why you would choose one over the other, and also feeds back into your audience on there.
Can I ask you a question going back to Facebook?
Yeah.
You know, when you said it's not great to share your Facebook page, what about your website? If I have my website and, you know, let's say I have, I don't know, 500 friends or whatever, and would like to just post it, oh, hi guys, just created a website, check it out, and just send in a link. Is that something, do you think, not great for the website? Do you know what? I've got so many friends that sometimes you look at them like, how do I know you? When have we met? I don't know if you guys have the same thing.
Yeah, it depends. I'm not saying don't share your Facebook page with your friends. It's just being aware of what happens behind the scenes in Facebook when you do that, because
that's Facebook. What about website? Link to your website.
Yeah, share that on there, because all that's doing, you're just driving traffic to your website, which is never a bad thing.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
So you could do that, or even to, I don't know, depending on, I will talk more. The thing that I'm starting to do now, again, I'm not like this genius expert at social media, I'm just a few steps ahead of some people, but now I've got really clear on my messaging and what it is I'm about authentically, not just what I think I should be talking about, but this is what's coming from like in line with everything that I've uncovered over the last few months. What I'm sharing on my personal Facebook profile is in line with what I share. Well, to be honest, I've not even shared anything on my business page for ages, because I've been doing a lot on Instagram stories. I've been focusing on that and playing with that. But what I'm starting to do now is my message is on my personal page, on my business page, are in sync with what Say Hello Freedom is about, whether that's the agency or whether that is affiliate stuff, no matter what I do under Say Hello Freedom's banner or Holly Barros, all my messaging is the same. It's just the end product is different, but it still comes from the same why. So whether I'm selling social media stuff, whether I'm building a website, whether I'm selling SFM, it's all the same messaging. So people would come to me because they resonate with the message that I'm giving out as Holly Barros, as Say Hello Freedom, rather than Holly can do social media.
Right.
So yeah, so just get clear on what your message is and slap that everywhere. Just with the Facebook business page, just be aware that Facebook's picking up in the background the type of people that are engaging with that content and will show that to more people like them.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
so don't make
also
it random, that's what you're saying.
Pardon?
You're saying don't make it random, it's not worth it.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't. I'd just get clear, but in any case, people are going to it's just going to confuse people. And if you've got random messages, you can have different topics in the same message. It's just when you boil it down, is it the same message? So like my message is very clearly about creating freedom in your own life, so you're not tied down, you're not in a situation where you're totally trapped for whatever reason.
I don't know if you have loads of questions still going through, because I've kind of jump in.
No, go on, run with it.
So I nearly finished my website. I sent everything to Jean today as a draft. I'm so proud of it.
You finished it?
Yeah, I finished it, but I sent it to Jean. I said, look, can you just give me some feedback and tell me this, tell me that? And she's like, well, maybe you could get a font a little bit, bigger here and there. So a few tweaks needed. I just stopped and didn't add a blog for a second because I concentrated on everything else. What do you think about having and not having blog on your website?
With having are you going to run paid traffic to it? To your website?
I'm not sure yet.
Okay. If you are planning on running paid traffic to that, I wouldn't bother with a blog, because you've got to be really careful on what you're putting in your blog, because the bots, the Google bots or the Facebook bots will, if you start putting links to other things off your website, that's not compliant.
Oh.
The only link that I'm aware of, I might be wrong here, but that my understanding is the only link you can have that comes off your website that's not to your URL, to your domain, is a sales cart, as in the app.
Yeah. Okay.
Everything else must stay onto your domain. And it's much easier if you're doing blogs. It might be, even if you're sharing a link to a YouTube video or something like that, that's not on your domain. You'd need to embed the video into the blog. That's
right. Okay.
What a lot of people do is they've got two websites. So they've got I just call it a clean website, because that's the one you're going to run paid traffic to. And that's all that's on there, as in you've got a compliant website and that's it. You're running paid traffic to that. Then you can have another website that could be exactly the same as your other one. So you just duplicate it. That does have a blog on, and that would be your organic site. So you can blog on there and put whatever you want on that.
Okay.
Because it's yours. You're not running paid traffic to it. So when you run paid traffic to your domain, of any domain, you have to abide by Facebook's rules or Google's rules or whoever it is. If they've got rules, they own what you can and can't do on that website. If you're not running any traffic to it, paid traffic to it, you can do what you want. It's your website. So, Cordelia.
Well, there's another thing, like in terms of, this is not related to the link situation, but another thing you can do, which is what I'm going to do soon, is to do a vlog section. So if you're a person that's more into making videos than you are into writing, you could have, vlogs embedded, one per page with maybe a little bit of writing about it underneath. It's just another way of putting the content on your website, but then Google isn't necessarily picking up what you've written down because you've spoken it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's as long as, if you're going to blog and don't link to anything, then that's fine. because you're not sending them anywhere other than your bubble of your domain. But if there's a chance you might be putting a link into anything else that's not on your domain, then just don't bother. Duplicate your website and do it again. Whether it's if you've got .com now, just get the .net or .co or just duplicate.
Yeah.
So they're safe. But yeah, like Cordelia said, if you want us to do vlogs where there's no text that they can.
Perfect. Thank you.
There's also two different types of blogs, really. There's blogs to try and get converged, like try and get leads. So organic blogs, the reason that you're blogging is you're trying to get people on your list. Or there's blogging to support the content that you're for the people that are already on your list. Yeah. So if you're blogging and not as an organic strategy, but just as supporting content to support to share value with the people that are already on your list, then you wouldn't have links in there anyway, because that strategy would work all right.
Yeah, you could do that. Okay. As long as it doesn't link anywhere else, have the blog. But if there's a chance that you might be linking somewhere else, duplicate your site and do it somewhere else.
Cool, thank you.
Dawn just asked, can you blog to the SFM? What do you mean by that? Is that digital bloggers, do you mean? Let me unmute you. Yes, right. I've never used digital bloggers, so I can't comment with any substance on that. I don't know if anyone else has.
I have, but what was
I've done 2 articles on digital bloggers.
Yeah.
And the first article I did 1 URL to the SFM, and then the second one I put 2 in, because when I did a bit of training on digital bloggers, it said you could add 1 or 2 or 3 links in your article.
Yeah.
That's what I did. Well, that's all I've done so far. I've wrote a couple of more articles, but I haven't published them yet. But I don't know if this is going off sidetrack a little bit, but is it just the SFM who are with the digitalbloggers.com, or can anybody in the world just subscribe to that?
I think anybody can do. I think it's created by us, but it's anybody else can go on there.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the point of it.
Well, I've started, so that's a good thing.
You can report back then. You can tell us how that works. You can be the specialist on digital blogging.
The article blogger.
Yeah, that's good, because I've got zero interest in learning that stuff. Yeah. So yeah, you can do that.
Well, it works really well on the digital bloggers. You get a lot of spread and many readers.
Yeah. And is it right if somebody shares your blog, your links are on that?
Yes.
Yes, that works well.
And also, if you're not like me, I'm not interested in SEO because I don't care. Like Alex said today, it doesn't matter if I am on 55 or 42 pages back in Google. So I link from digital bloggers to Facebook pages and share it everywhere, even on LinkedIn. It really doesn't matter for me.
That's cool. That'd be interesting to know how that goes for you. Cool. I think I've come to the end of my questions. Anyone else got any other questions? Just reading in the chat now. No, I've never used ClickFunnels, but yes, Cordelia, I do love the book. Expert Secrets is the book, in case anyone's not heard of that, which it's upstairs. I think it's by my bed, sadly. Not got it here. Right, is there any other questions? Anything off the back of anything we've talked about?
What was the book again, sorry?
Penny's got it there. Expert Secrets by Russell Brunson. And there was a way to get it free, actually. If you search back in the group, I put a link as to how to get it free, and you just paid for the postage, which I know a few people did. Or did you? Oh, you got a free one. So I don't know if they're still doing the free ones, but it's worth searching back in the group. Why, if you get something cheaper, why not? It takes a little while to come though, I think. It's not like ordering it off Amazon and it comes the next day. But it depends how desperate you are for it. Cool. Oh, 3 days. I'm assuming you're not swearing at me there, are you? 3 weeks. We're going to have to introduce you to the magic of the unmute button. Look at her face. Oh, fab. Right, who's coming to London? Ah, yes. Are you coming to the bar on Friday and Saturday night then? Yeah, excellent.
Well, hold on a second. I don't know anything about it.
About what?
The bar. Come on, come on. Still
The bar.
Where is it?
In the hotel.
Okay.
So Friday, I think it's from Friday at 12. There's the equivalent. You know, we normally do the London meetups every month.
Right.
Well, because the one that for February is going to be so close to Momentum Day, we just decided we'd do it on the day before because a lot of people will be there on the Friday anyway. So from 12 on the Friday in the hotel bar, we'll be in the bar.
Perfect. I'm taking a day off then.
I was a bit disappointed because when I said to everybody I was going to be in the bar on Friday night, I got about 10 answers and everybody was saying, well, we're going to have a really early one because we want to be on good form, which is fair enough, but on good form for Momentum Day. So I don't know what early means to everybody. But
yeah, a couple of gin and tonics, come on.
Yeah.
No hangover with gin and tonics.
In bed by midnight, I reckon. Yeah.
Early is 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. We'll just roll from the bar into the conference room in the morning. No, won't do that. Yeah, so we'll be in there from Friday. I'm going down Thursday and we'll be in the bar from Thursday lunchtime.
Yes, we get there about 5ish, I think, probably 5:30 on Friday. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Excellent.
Very excited.
It is. I'm literally counting sleeps down. It's like Christmas. Although I've panicked. I'm thinking, oh God, I've got so much to do tomorrow. Because the kids are off, I'm taking both of them. Because large Charles decided that I am useful tomorrow. Because she wants to go somewhere. And her friend. So we're going to this big... Oh, in fact, Cordelia, it's that big thing in Manchester with the big trampolines and whatever else is there. So we're going there. Then it's my brother's birthday on Thursday that I'm going to miss because I've decided to rearrange my travel. So I need to go get him sorted for his birthday stuff and go see him at some point. Then I need to pack and it's just like, oh, I've left everything to the last minute. So tomorrow will be interesting. So yeah, as soon as I hit that train on Thursday, the man can be dishing gin and tonics out as soon as I sit down, I think.
They were on half term last week here.
Yeah, ours seems to be everywhere seems to be last week apart from ours.
We do a lot of work with schools, so thankfully we're sort of we can get away from it now. Yeah,
that'll be cool. I'm looking forward to seeing everyone. Very excited. Right, I will love you and leave you and see you on Thursday or Friday or Saturday, whenever it is. And yeah, any questions, shove them in the group. And did I say I would do anything? I've got Tracy written down. Is there anything else that I've told anyone that I would do?
I don't think so.
At some point.
Oh, the voice from beyond. Here he is.
I was just hiding.
Don't make an effort there. Just sit down, Peter. Don't.
I'm relaxed. I've done my chores. I'm fine. At some point, you were saying earlier on, Holly, about talking to someone about editing videos.
Yeah.
Something I'd like to try and get to grips with at some point. Is it possible to have a conversation?
Absolutely. I'm not the world's expert at editing videos, but if you go into Dave Holborough's group, he is the Megatron video expert.
Yeah.
I'll link to his group in actually.
Because we're actually connected to him because he's down this way as well, isn't he?
He's North Devon a place. Yeah, that's where he is.
Devon's definitely a place. Same with South Devon is. It's the opposite side.
I think everywhere's got a north, Holly.
Yeah. It's got a west and an east as well.
All right, I'm going to mute you. So mute you back up. Yeah.
You know, if only I had a mute button the same, how wonderful life would be. I don't mean it, darling.
Oh, that's funny.
I don't mean it, darling, she says. Yeah.
Like hell, I don't.
Oh. Yeah, I can do basic video editing. Cordelia's a whiz at that, but
Are you going, Cordelia, on Friday?
I am. I wouldn't miss
I'll meet you there.
We'll meet you up there.
Whoop whoop! I'm so excited. I'm going tomorrow to do a little dummy run of the tour for the tour bus on Sunday. Already on the tour bus.
What's the tour bus? That's the bloopers.
Yeah.
Yeah, the bloopers. No.
Yeah.
Who else is on there? Is anyone else on?
Is it
just you,
everyone
Paddy?
invited that did the bloopers.
Yeah, are you on it? Did you do bloopers?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yes. So funny.
Yeah. Right, well, we'll see you in the bar on Friday then.
See you later.
Take care. Thank you, Holly. Brilliant.
Thank you, Holly.
Thank you. Take care.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.